ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनं श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Dear friends, we have just started the second part of the Prathama Mundaka. The first part, Mundaka Upanishad, Prathama Mundaka, we have started the second part. So there, in the first part we have seen that the teacher told the student that there are two types of vidyas. One is a higher vidya, vidya means knowledge, higher type of knowledge, and the other is a lower type of knowledge. The higher type of knowledge is that which is going to liberate you from this wheel of samsara. That is what he said. And he also described what that supreme reality called Brahman is. So that is where and also it also talked about the Srushti, in what order the evolution. Srushti means Badaram Natu Yugapat Badaramushtivat, that is what Shankaracharya was saying. It is not as though you have just sprinkled a fistful of say berries or something like that. The Srushti did not take place like that, but it has evolved in a particular process. That evolution, he said, from that pure consciousness which is called Brahma, in that there is a creative power which emerged first, and that creative power is called Maya, and then that Maya Adhishthita Chaitanya. From there, this Prakriti, Avyakruta is the thing. From that Avyakruta, there is the first emergence of Jiva. The first Jiva or the first Prani to emerge was that Hiranyagarbha. And then again the Sattva, Rajas, Tamoguna. And from that, all this Akasha, Vayu, etc., the five elements. And these five elements, by mixing together, they formed into the whole, this universe which we see. And in this universe, we are seeing these animals, plants, etc., etc. So that is how this whole evolution has been described. And the purpose of describing evolution is not to say that, this is how this evolution has taken place, but to tell you that the human being or jiva, not only human being, but any jiva is not different from that supreme reality. Because that supreme reality is the material cause and also the instrumental cause. Nimitta Karanam and also Upadana Karanam. We have seen that it is Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam. So that is what we have seen. So the purpose of telling Srushti is to convey to us that we are not different from that Supreme Brahman. So that is where we stopped. The first Khanda stopped. The second Khanda we have seen in the introduction, that the introduction, we are right now seeing the introduction only to the second part. It is saying that first the Upanishad is trying to give you the picture of Apara Vidya, that is the lower knowledge. What exactly is the lower knowledge? Once we know the nature of the lower knowledge, then we will be able to see whether we have to follow this path only forever and forever, or we have to leave this path at some point of time. You see, this lower path is about karma. Lower path is about Sangha Vedaha Aparavidya Uktaha. So that is what we were reading. So all the Vedas, Traigunya Vishaya Veda, we read in Bhagavad Gita also. That is, all the Vedas, they talk about this Traigunyam. Traigunyam is samsara. Samsara means how to succeed in samsara, how to go about, what type of duties you have to do, what is your dharma in samsara. So all these things they are told in the Vedas. But then, is man perpetually expected to be in that level only, or is he expected to grow slightly above it? That is the point. So that is where the question comes. Are you supposed to be there forever and forever doing karma, or are you supposed to examine them? Are you not supposed to examine? At some point of time we have to sit quiet, sit tight, and then you have to see what is it I am doing. So that is what the Upanishad, the Bhashyam is saying now. So that is where we stopped in the last class, because we read this last line, that is Purvam tavad aparavidyayaha vishaya pradarsanartham arambhaha. That we read that line. That is, first of all, we have to know what exactly is this lower vidya is. Once we know what is that lower vidya, if you are very happy with that lower vidya, you be there only. But if you are not happy with that lower vidya by chance, then you can graduate to the level of Upanishad. That's what he says. Aparavidya vishaya pradarsanartha arambhaha. Why? Because tad darshanehi tan nirvedopapattehe. It is only when you understand. Tad darshane means tad darshane sati. Because unless you know that, unless you understand it, if you understand the real value of it, let us say, the real value of it, then only you will develop some dispassion, nirveda, dispassion. And I explained to you this dispassion is different from depression. Depression is due to an unhealthy mind, and dispassion is due to viveka, a proper understanding, discrimination, etc. So then tatha cha vakshyati, we were supposed to read this line. Let us read. तथा च वक्ष्यति परीक्ष्य लोकान् कर्मचितान् इत्यादिना न हि अप्रदर्शिते परीक्षोपपद्यत इति तत्प्रदर्शयन् आह तदेतत् सत्यम्. Okay, now we is starting the mantra. So, tatha cha vakshyati. Vakshyati means the text is going to say, the same text is going to say, I think it is the 12th mantra or 13th mantra in the same text. Parikshya lokan karmachitan brahmano nirvedamayat nastya kurtah krutena. Where is that? Parikshya lokan karmachitan. Yeah, this is the 12th shloka, the 12th mantra in the same khanda. We are now in the first mantra. In the 12th mantra, the text is going to say, Parikshya lokan karmachitan brahmano nirvedamayat. So that is what it is going to say. So there, the Upanishad is saying, okay, so far you have been in the path of this karma. Why don't you examine? Why don't you examine in what path you are, and then try to see whether it is useful or not. Whether you are going to be there perpetually, or whether you want to graduate from that level to a higher level. So that is what it means. Tatha cha vakshyati. Vakshyati means it is going to say what? Parikshya lokan karma chitan. Having examined, parikshya, lyapratyaya, having examined the lokas. Lokas means all your achievements. Loka is lokyate, bhujyate. All your achievements, all your experiences. It may be Indraloka, Brahmaloka, or some other loka, or it may be some other material prosperity. All these things, having examined them, what are they? Karma chitan, which have been gained by karma. Karma chitan, which have been collected. Chita, chayanam, chayanam you know. Agni chayanam is collecting this Agni. Agni chita, chita means something which has been collected. Karma chitan means something which has been achieved by karma. So all these lokas are achieved by some activity, some karma, some sort of ritual. So having examined them, then what is the thing which is suggesting? Once you examine that, okay, there are two possibilities. One is you understand the futility of them or limitations, or you are very happy with them. So but here he says, Brahmano nirvedamayat. Brahmana means not a Brahmin, not the Brahmin we see, but an intelligent man. An intelligent man has to develop dispassion. Nirvedamayat nastya krutah krutena. That line we are going to see. Then nahi apradarshite, we read this also. Nahi apradarshite parikshopapadyata. Pariksha upapadyate. Nahi, what is this? Apradarshite pariksha na upapadyate. That is, unless you examine a thing, you will not be able to evaluate. You have to examine in order to evaluate, isn't it? Yeah. Unless it is properly demonstrated, you can't examine also. Nahi apradarshite means unless it is properly demonstrated, you can't examine. So that is why in that pradarshayan, in order to demonstrate it, in order to describe what exactly it is. So it is describing, okay, this is the nature of the duties. So once that all the data is given to you, it is left to you whether you are going to accept the data or reject the data. So that is the point. Tadetat satyam avitatham. So we are coming to the first mantra. Tadetat satyam mantreshu kavayoyan nyapashyan. We read that mantra. Yes, so tadetat satyam. Satyam means avitatham. Vitatham means wasteful. Avitatham means not wasteful. Vitatham is something which is useless. Avitatham is not useless. That means useful. Avitatham is useful. Tadetat satyam. Useful. In what sense? Because you do some karma and that karma is going to give you some result. So it is useful. It is not that it is totally useless. So that is the point. It is not that karma is totally useless. Because otherwise, if Veda does not prescribe some karma to the human beings, he will be doing some sort of, say, unwanted action. So instead of allowing that fellow, or allowing freedom to that fellow to do some unwanted action, antisocial activity, like our student unions. So instead of that, it is prescribing some activity. It is prescribing some activity, and that activity is giving him some benefit. It may be some punyam, or it may be some prosperity, something like that. So satyam avitatham. Kim tat? Mantreshu Rigvedadyakheshu
Mantreshu Rigvedadyakheshu
Karmani Agnihotradini Mantraireva Prakashitani Kavayo Medhavino Vasishtadayo Yan Yapasyan Drushtavantaha. Okay. Kim tat? What is that? Mantreshu. Mantreshu means in all these mantra. What is the meaning of mantra? Rigvedadyakheshu. That those which are known as Akhya means name, isn't it? Akhya. Rigvedakhya means named as Rigveda or known as Rigveda. Rigvedakheshu means all these things which are known as Rigveda, Yajurveda, etc., etc. In all these things. Karmani means Agnihotradini. Various karmas. In olden days, Agnihotra was such a compulsory thing. Agnihotra was compulsorily done by all the Dvijas, not necessarily Brahmins, but all the Dvijas. Dvijas means all the three, say, Varnas. That is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaisya, all the three Varnas, they were doing Agni. That means practically every citizen was doing that Agnihotra. Agnihotradini, then, where are we? Agnihotradini, Mantraireva Prakashitani, which are well explained in those mantras themselves. Mantraihi eva prakashitani. Prakashita means well properly explained by the mantras themselves. Prakashitani. Kavayaha Vasishtadayaha. Kavayaha. Kavi, I told you, Kavi does not mean a poet. The present meaning of Kavi is a poet. But in the context, in Vedas, most often the word Kavi is referred to Brahma also. Kavi is referred, the Supreme Brahman is referred to as Kavi. Kavi means somebody who knows everything, Sarvagnya. So here again, Kavayaha is used in the sense of the Vedic rishis. Medhavinaha, Vasishtadayaha. Medhavinaha means Medhavi means Medha asya sthiti Medhavi. One who is having intellect is called an intellectual. So that is it. Medhavi. Vasishtadayaha. Who are those Medhavis? Medhavis, not the present day intellectuals. We are talking about some genuine intellectuals like rishis. Vasishtadayaha. Yani apashyan drushtavantaha. That is, these mantras which have been seen by these rishis, by the great sages. Because this mantra, Arsha, or rather Rishi is somebody who sees, somebody who has that vision of these mantras. So these mantras are said to be a sort of vision. It is a sort of revelation to these rishis who were in their state of meditation. So that is what we say. Then yattadetat satyam ekanta purushartha sadhanatvat tani cha veda vihitani rishi drushtani karmani tretayam trayi sanyoga lakshanayam hotradhvarya udgatra prakarayam Audgatra Adhikarana Bhutayam Bahudha Bahuprakaram Santatani Pravruttani Karmibhihi Kriyamanani. So then what is that Satyam? Yadetat Satyam, Tadetat Satyam, that which is useful. What is that useful? He is going to explain. Yat tadetat Satyam. What is that Satyam? Why? How is it that is useful? Ekanta Purushartha Sadhanatvat. because it is definitely, surely it is going to give you result. So the idea of karma siddhanta is you perform a particular karma, and that particular karma will necessarily will definitely yield you some result. May not be immediately, but after some time. That is what is called apurva, isn't it? Yeah. Ekanta purushartha sadhanatvat. Ekanta means unfailing, in a definite way. Ekanta, anaikantika. So something like that. Ekanta purushartha sadhanatvat. Anaikantika means not assured. This is ekanta purushartha sadhanatvat. This is sure, assuredly it is going to give you result. Purushartham, you know. Yeah. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Here of course we are not talking about moksha. Dharma, artha, kama. Purushartha sadhanatvat. All these karmas, they are for achieving these purusharthas. Then tanisha veda vihitani. And all these things are also, they are not something which are outside the Veda. They are actually prescribed or sanctioned or permitted by the Vedas. Veda vihitani. Rishi drushtani karmani. All these sages, they have visualized them, they have checked them out as something which is beneficial for human being. For example, a rich man. For a rich man, it is prescribed, okay, every man you have to perform a yajna. Suppose there is no prescription like that. A rich man will keep on accumulating wealth. So the Veda says, okay, you have now become rich, you have to perform some yajna. You have to perform some yajna means you have to give some donations to so many people. So that means yajna is a sort of economic activity which is helping so many people. A poor man who may not be able to do any yajna, it says, okay, you do pranayama, that is as good as yajna. That is what Krishna says. Dravya yajna, tapo yajna, jnana yajna, what is it? Swadhyaya jnana yajnascha, yatayaha samshita vrataha. So there are different types of yajnas. Suppose you don't have money, you do tapas, you do atma sanyama, that is restraining your own sense organs. That itself is a great yajna. You do some other tapas, that is another great yajna. So dravya yajna is one type of yajna. Not necessarily, it is not as though a person is condemned if he is not able to do dravya yajna. So, because dravya yajna is possible only for a rich man. For somebody who is not rich, it does not mean that the fellow is condemned. So he can simply sit quiet, he can do some devatarchana, he can follow his dharma in a very, very sincere way. That itself is yajna for him. So like that, all these yajnas, they are all rushi drushtani, that is yan yapasyan drushtavantaha. These rishis, they have checked out all these things. Then yattadetat satyam, that we read. So karmani tretayam bahudha santatani. We are going to see that line. Tretayam, that is saptami, isn't it? Tretayam means what? Trayi sanyoga lakshanayam. That in which all the three are there. Who are those three? Hota, Udgata and Adhvaryu. Hota, Adhvaryu and Udgata. So these three people who represent this Rigveda, Yajurveda and Samaveda, they are the three people. So Trayi is a particular, is that yajna in which all the three are there. Of course that Brahma is invariably there because the person who supervises is called Brahma. The person who performs it or who sponsors it is called Yajamani. Yajamani is different. Brahma is the supervisor. Brahma is supervisor for the mantra aspect of it. This Hota, Adhvaryu and Udgata are the three people who are in charge of the three Vedas. So this Trayi means a particular yajna where all the three people are there. So Tretayam means Trayi Sanyoga Lakshanayam. Trayi Sanyoga means all the three are together. All the three are there present in that. That is what he is explaining. Hotra Adhvarya Udgatra Prakarayam. Hotra Adhvaryu Udgatra Prakarayam. All these three people along with their procedure. Prakara means the procedure. All the whole procedure which is there for Hota, Adhvaryu and Udgatra. You followed that word?
Yes, sir.
Hotra, Adhvarya, Udgatra, Prakarayam. It is a big tongue twister. Prakarayam. Adhikarana Bhutayam. Adhikarana Bhutayam means where, that is Adhikar, Adhara Bhutayam. Adhikarana means Adhara. So the yajna which is depending on that. Adhikarana Bhutayam is the yajna which is depending on this Trayi or Treta. So that is it. Then Bahudha, Bahuprakaram, Santatani, Pravruttani. So this Tretayam, Bahudha Santatani. That is, all these things are so totally, they have become, they are all in vogue. They all became very, very popular. Very, very popular, and then they were adopted, performed by all the people. Karmibhihi kriyamanani. Karmibhihi means, karmi means one who performs karma is called a karmi. Karmibhihi kriyamanani means by all people who were performing all those rituals. Then he is giving another meaning for this Treta. Let us read. Tretayam va yuge prayashaha pravruttani. So Tretayam Santatani, he is giving two meanings. Treta, for the word Treta, the first meaning he has given is where the three people are there. That is Hota, Adhvaryu and Udgata. The next meaning is, it may be Treta Yuga. It is also called Treta Yuga because in that Treta Yuga, it seems yajnas were very, very popular. In Kruta Yuga, yajnas were not very popular. Treta Yuga, they were so dominant. Dwapara Yuga, again their dominance has come down. Kalau Sankirtanat, Hari Sankirtanat, there is some such sloka, somewhere. In Kali Yuga, it is enough if you do some stotrams, if you do some normal puja, it is good enough. That is what they have simplified procedure for all of us. We need not perform yajnas as they used to do in Treta Yuga. So Tretayam, that is Yuge Prayashaha Pravruttani. They were so prevalent. Prayashaha Pravruttani means so they were so widely prevalent. Kalau Nama Sankirtanat, something like that. Then Ato Yuyam Tan Yacharatha Nirvartayata Niyatam Nityam Satyakamaha Yathabhuta Karma Phala Kamas Santaha. Okay, Ataha. Therefore, Ato Tan Yacharatha Niyatam Satyakama, that particular line. Tani Yuyam, you, Tani Acharatha. You perform all those karmas. Tani Acharatha means you perform all those karmas. Acharatha means Nirvartayata. You perform. Then Niyatam, Nityam. Niyatam means regularly. Nityam, regularly. Then Satyakamaha. Satyakama means Yathabhuta Karma Phala Kamaha. Satya, it does not refer to Satyam Jnanam Anantam. It refers to Tadetat Satyam. It is something which is useful because it is giving some karma phala. So here the word Satyam is referring to karma phala. Satyakamaha Yathabhuta Karma Phala Kamaha. Yathabhuta means whatever is assured for that. Yathabhuta, whatever is assured for that particular phalam. Kamaha means those who desire. You people who are desiring the fruits of such karmas, you please continue to do. Phala Kamas Santaha. By being so, you please perform all those rituals. Yesha vo yushmakam pantha margaha sukrutasya swayam nirvartitasya karmanaha loke phalanimittam lokyate drishyate bhujyate iti karma phalam lokaha uchyate. So for the word loka, Shankaracharya is giving the meaning karma phalam. Why is he giving the meaning karma phalam? Lokyate. The English word look also is cognate. Lokya, loka, look. So lokyate, drishyate, bhujyate, that which is seen. Lokyate, the actual literal meaning is drishyate, that which is seen, which means which is experienced. Bhujyate, iti karma phalam. And what is that which is experienced? That karma phalam. That karma phalam is called loka. So, yesha vaha yushmakam pantha margaha. So, this, yesha means this one. Yushmakam, to you, to all of you. Pantha means margaha. That is, we are seeing the last line of the mantra. Yesha vah pantha sukrutasya loke. The last line of the mantra. Sukrutasya. The meaning of sukrutasya means swayam krutasya. You see, you are the creator of your own whatever future you want. You perform a particular karma and then you achieve a particular result. So, sukrutasya, swayam nirvartitasya, loke. You have achieved it. It is achieved by yourself. No one else has achieved it. You have performed a karma and you have achieved a particular result. Swayam nirvartitasya karmanaha. Then loke. Loke means in the world. Of course, loke, the meaning he is explaining. Phalanimittam. Lokyate Drishyate. Loke means phala nimittam. The meaning of loke is phala nimittam, for the purpose of phalam. And how is this word derived? He explained. Drishyate bhujyate. That which is seen, that which is experienced is that loka, uchyate. Then tadartham tat praptaye esha marga ityarthaha. Tadartham means tat praptaye. In order to achieve it, in order to attain it, esha margaha. This is the margam. This is the margam means this is the path. Ityarthaha, that is the meaning. Then yan yetan yagnihotradini trayam vihitani karmani tan yesha pantha avashya phala prapti sadhanam ityarthaha. Okay, yani yetani agnihotradini. So all those things which are say trayam vihitani, which have been prescribed in these three Vedas, all these agnihotras which have been prescribed in these three Vedas, those karmas, tanyeva pantha, they are the path. They are the path for you. Avashya phala prapti sadhana. Because that is going to surely give you some result. But the next shloka is going to say, next and the later shloka is going to say, it is also not so easy. It is not as though you perform a thing and then immediately it comes. Because for that performance, the performance has to be so meticulous. There should not be even a small error. So it is like that. It is like a Chinese army drill. You have to do it in such a perfect way that it is only when you do it in such a perfect way that it will give some result. If you don't, even if there is some little bit of error, it will not give you result. So next we are going to see that. But right now he is going to say, Avashya phala prapti sadhanam. It is going to give you surely. This is the pantha. Then again he is going to explain what are the problems in performing these yajnas. That is in the next mantra. So right now we are coming to the second shloka. Let us read the second shloka. Where is this? Okay. Yada lelayate hyarchihi samidhe havyavahane tadajya bhagavantarenahuti pratipadayet. Okay. So yada lelayate hyarchihi. We will see the overall meaning of this mantra. Yada archihi lelayate. Yada means when. Archihi means fire. Lelayate. When suppose you visualize, you imagine a Agni Kundam, a fireplace. In that fireplace, even if you have not seen a Agni Kundam, you might have seen a fireplace. So in that fireplace, when all these sticks are put, so all these flames just rise. Flames, they rise and then they are just fluttering. Flame is not in one flame. It is not as though in a small lamp, if there is a small wick, there is only one flame. But when there are lot many sticks and all that, there are so many flames rising. So then they are also fluttering. They are just moving, fluttering, moving and all that. So that is what is called lelayate. Lelayate means when they flutter, when they just move. Yada lelayate hyarchihi samidhe havyavahane. Samidhe means well ignited. Sam iddha. Some means well. Iddha means well ignited. Havyavahane. In fact, ignited and agni are also cognate words. Ignis and agni. Ignis is a Greek word. So, samidhe havyavahane. Havyavahana is, you know that word agni. Havyavahana is another name for agni. Why is he called havyavahana? Vahana means a wagon. Vahana and wagon are also related. Okay, havyam. Havya means, havya is something which is put as an oblation into the fire. Havyam. So in a yajna, you are putting something into the fire. That is, it may be some ghee, it may be some coconut, it may be some other fruit, etc. You put them all into the fire. That is called havyam. And then Agni is supposed to be the messenger for gods. So Agni is supposed to take these and then give it to the gods. So that is, okay, for that there is again a philosophical significance. We need not go into that. Agni temporarily, let us accept that he is the Havyavahana. That is, he is the wagon, he is the Vahanam, he is the messenger. He is the messenger for taking all these things to the other gods.
Agni Sakshi.
Agni Sakshi, yeah, Agni Sakshi for all our karmas. Agni Sakshi he is the Sakshi for all our activities. That is it. Then Tada means then. when this fire is say lit in this particular way, when this fire is well lit fire, into that well lit fire, tada, then ajyabhagavu antarena, ajyabhagav antarena, in between those two ajyabhagas. Ajyam is some ajyam is some ghee or something like that which is poured in a particular place. It is poured in some other place. In between those two places, ajyabhaga antarena. Antarena means in between. Ajyabhaga antarena. Ahutihi. Ahutihi means whatever you are putting that oblation. Ahutihi pratipadayet. Pratipadayet means you have to put there. You have to put those oblations into that fire. So that is what it means. Let us see the bhashyam. Tatra agnihotrameva tavat prathamam pradarshayyan pradarshanaartham uchyate.
तत्र अग्निहोत्रमेव तावत् प्रथमं प्रदर्शनार्थम् उच्यते
सर्वकर्मणां प्राथम्यात्.
सर्वकर्मणां प्राथम्यात्.
Okay, tatra, in this context, tatra means in this context, agnihotrameva tavat prathamam. So he has taken up the agnihotram prathamam in the first place, pradarshyanartham uchyate, in order to demonstrate what exactly is this agnihotram, because sarvakarmanam prathamyat, because this is the beginning of all the karmas. You perform any Vaidika karma, it has to start with Agni. You perform a good karma or bad karma, so that is why you see in a marriage also there is a Agni, you start with Agni. And then even in if you say in the case of a death, a Shraddha or something like that, even the Shraddham, that Agni karma. So in everything, Darsha, Purnamasa, so in olden days, a person's life just revolved around this Agni karma. Morning some Agni karma, evening some Agni karma, etc. So here, Agnihotrameva uchyate sarvakarmanam prathamyat, because this is the first one. This is the first thing. This is something to start with for all the karmas. Tat katham. So how is it that you have to do? He says, yadaiva indhanaihi abhyahitaihi samyag idhe samidhe havyavahane lelayate chalayati archihi tada tasmin kale lelayamane chalatyarchishu ajyabhagavu ajyabhagayoho antarena madhye आवापस्थाने आहुतिः प्रतिपादयेत् प्रक्षिपेत् देवताम् उद्दिश्य अनेकाः प्रयोगापेक्षया आहुतिरिति बहुवचनम्. So there ends the second sloka, because there is not much to explain in this. So he says, Yadaiva, yadaiva, when, yada is when, yadaiva, when, indhanaihi abhyahitaihi. Indhanam is all those various types of sacred twigs you bring. You don't put, whatever twigs you don't, whatever sticks are there, you don't put into that. There are certain selected types of selected wood only. That selected wood only has to be put there. So that is what is indhanam. That is the fuel. Indhanam actually is fuel. Yadaiva indhanaihi abhyahitaihi. Abhyahita means well secured. You have to properly secure all those indhanas. Otherwise, whatever oblations you are putting, they will not burn. So all those whatever fruits, etc., you are putting into the fire, they should all be burnt to ashes. So if you want to do that, you have to get lot many dry sticks. And those sticks also, as I said, they should belong to a particular tree only. They should, to specified trees rather. Apart from that, other trees, the twigs are not used. So like that, indhanaihi abhyahitaihi means well secured. Then samyak idhe samidhe. Samyak idha. Idha means ignited. Something which is ignited. Samyak idhe samidhe. Havyavahane lelayate. Then this havyavahana, this Agni is just fluttering. All these flames are just fluttering. Lelayate chalayati archihi. Archihi means that flame. Archi is Agni. Tada tasmin kale. At that time, lelayamane chalayati chalati archishu. So while these things are fluttering, while these flames are fluttering, while all these flames are fluttering, then ajyabhagavu. Ajyabhagavu means ajyabhagayoho madhye. Ajyabhagayoho. That is, there is one ajyam in one place, there is another ajyam in some other place. Ajya bhagayoho madhye. Of course, in this Anandagiri Vyakhya, he is explaining what are all these Agni. There are three types of Agnis. What is this Garhastya Agni, later Ahavaniya Agni, etc., etc. We need not go into that. That is for those who are literally performing all these yajnas. Because we are not performing these yajnas, we need not go into all those details. Ajya bhagayoho antarena madhye. Antarena means in between. So there are two Ajya bhagas. In between those two Ajya bhagaha, madhye, that is what is called avapasthanam. Avapasthanam means the place where you have to put those oblations. You have brought some certain things which to be put into to sacrifice into the fire. So into that place, whatever you want to sacrifice, you have to put it there. Avapasthana. That is called avapasthana. There, ahutihi means whatever your material you are going to put, all those things. Pratipadayet means prakshipet. You have to throw it there. Prakshipet. You have to put it there. Properly put it there. Devatam uddishya. In fact, yajna, the meaning of yajna is devatodeshena dravyatyaga, isn't it? Devatodeshena means keeping some devata in mind, keeping some deity in mind, you are putting something into the fire. So that is what is yajna. Yajna is devatodeshena dravyatyaga. So prakshipet devatam uddishya. Because you are performing some yajna, invoking Indra or invoking Varuna if you want rain. So like that. So anekaha prayogapekshaya. This line also we read. This word ahutihi is bahuvachana. Ahuti is one, singular. Ahutihi is bahuvachana. Why is bahuvachana used? Because this yajna is not, it is not a one-day yajna. It is yajna which is going on for several days. So that is why it is called ahutihi. So today you have put one ahuti, tomorrow evening again you put another ahuti, tomorrow again you put another ahuti, tomorrow evening you put another ahuti. So like that, anekaha prayogapekshaya. Aneka ahaha. Ahaha means day. Ahas is day. Anekaha. Ahas is day. Anekaha prayogapekshaya. This prayoga means this yajna. Prayoga is not experiment. Prayoga is this yajna. Prayogapekshaya. Apekshaya means in view of that, or in view of the fact that this yajna is going to be there for several days. In view of the whole line means this, in view of the fact that this whole yajna is there for several days, ahutihi iti bahuvachanam. This bahuvachanam is plural. This bahuvachanam is, Sankaracharya of course explains the grammar and the context also. Iti bahuvachanam. So this bahuvachanam, this plural is used because this particular yajna is lasting for several days. Then now the basic problem is coming. Then now he is going to explain the problem. So it is not so easy, my dear. So he says, let us read the third mantra. Yasyagnihotra adarsham apaurnamasam.
Excuse me, sir, there is one more line before that. Yesha samyagahuti prakshepalakshanaha karmamara.
And that is of course the introduction. That also, okay, let us read it. Yesha samyagahuti prakshepadi lakshanaha karmamargaha.
Yesha samyagahuti prakshepadi lakshanaha karmamargaha.
Lokapraptaye panthaha.
Lokapraptaye panthaha.
Tasya cha samyak karanam dushkaram.
Tasya samyak karanam dushkaram.
Vipattayastvaneka bhavanti.
Vipattayastvaneka bhavanti.
Katham. So up to that point. Okay, Yesha means this. What is this? This pantha, path, this particular path. Samyak ahuti prakshepadi lakshanaha. That which is characterized by the fact, by things like putting some oblations into the fire, putting some sacrifices into the fire, etc. Samyak ahuti prakshepa. That is putting all these ahutis into the fire. Lakshanaha. Lakshanaha means it is characterized by such things. Lakshanaha. Karma margaha. This particular karma margaha. This Yesha refers to karma marga. Yesha karma margaha. Loka praptaye panthaha. This is the path for attaining different lokas. Lokas means it may be different, say, heavenly worlds, or it may be different karma phala, any type of karma phala. Loka we have seen, loka refers to karma phalam. So, loka praptaye panthaha. Tasya cha samyak karanam dushkaram. So, here is the hitch. Samyak karanam, to perform it perfectly, to perform them, it is dushkaram, it is rather difficult. Samyak karanam. Then vipattayastu aneka bhavanti. In between there are so many obstacles. Anekaha vipattayah. Vipatti means some obstacle. Bhavanti. Katham, how? He is going to explain. Let us read the mantra. यस्याग्निहोत्रम अदर्श्यम अपौर्णमासम अचातुर्मास्य मनाग्रयणम अतिथिवर्जितञ्च अतिथिवर्जितञ्च अहुतम अवैश्वदेवम अविधिनाहुतम आसप्तमांस्तस्य लोकान् हिनस्ति. Okay. Yasya agnihotram. Because it is going to say a person who has not perfect, who does not perfectly perform those very meticulously, perfectly, who does not perform this yajna, it is going to actually harm the person. It is going to harm the doer. So we have seen it elsewhere also. Mantro hinaha swarato varnatova. For example, a mantra, when a mantra has to be, in Taittiriya Upanishad initially we have seen, we saw the story of Indra and Vruttrasura. You see, Indra had killed some demon. So that fellow's father, he wanted to have another son who would be able to kill Indra. So he started a particular yajna, and then he was reciting on Sankalpa, Indra Shatrur Vardhasva. So in that Indra Shatrur Vardhasva, he put the emphasis on the wrong word. So when you put an emphasis on the wrong word, instead of saying Indra Shatrur Vardhasva, suppose you say Indra Shatrur Vardhasva, there is a meaning. Indra Shatrur Vardhasva, there is another meaning. So if you say like that, so his intention was that a son who would kill Indra should be born. But then he used the word emphasis wrongly, so he got a son who would be killed by Indra, for whom Indra is the killer. So such was the meaning. So in the case of mantras, this swara has to be so perfect, and the procedure has to be very perfect. There is so much of procedure. You have to create fire in a particular way. It may be a triangular, this Agni Kundam. Agni Kundam is that fireplace. It may be some triangular in shape in some place, for some yajna. It may be rectangular, or it may be square, or it may be of the shape of some animal. For example, a bird, Shyena Yaga. It is of the shape of, what is that Shyena is? You see, our falcon. Falcon, what do we call? Falcon, what is the common word for falcon? Gadda, eagle. Yeah, it is in the shape of an eagle. So, eagle or falcon, whatever it is. So, it is in the shape of an eagle. So, in different shapes, different yajnas are performed. Different Agni Kundas are prepared. So, it has to be so perfect. And for a particular yajna, so many priests are to be there. For some other yajna, some other specified number of priests have to be there. All those things are there. So, that is what he is going to explain. Yasya agnihotram adarsyam. For example, the person who is doing this agnihotram, he should be doing that darsha yajna. Darsha is a particular yajna which is done on the new moon day, that is Amavasya, that is dark night, that is the new moon day. He is supposed to do darsha yajna. Adarsham means a person who is not doing darsha yajna. Then apaurnamasam, that is the man is not also doing paurnamasa. There is darsha paurnamasa, there are two yajnas. One darsha is on the new moon day, and paurnamasa is on the full moon day. So this paurnamasa, apaurnamasa means, so this person who is not doing that paurnamasa yajna properly. Then achaturmasyam, this chaturmasyam is the 4-month period. Chaturmasya, in that 4-month period, there are some specific yajnas to be performed. So he has to perform those specific yajnas also. For example, you are doing a main yajna. On that main yajna day, suppose it is Amavasya day. So you have to do this darsha first and again do that main yajna. If it is a Paurnima, you have to do Paurnamasa first and then you have to do that yajna. So like that, he has to perform all those things also perfectly. Apaurnamasam, Achaturmasyam. During those Chaturmasyam, that Chaturmasya time, he has to perform those Chaturmasya yajnas. Then Anagrayanam. Agrayanam is another specific type of yajna which is performed in a few months. Whenever there is a harvest, new harvest is there. For example, Sarat Kalam, he says, when there is a new crop, the new crop has come, and with that new grains, you have to cook food and then put into the fire. So the first, whatever is first grain, you have to put it into the fire. That is supposed to be the ahutis to the gods. So like that, Agrayanam is in a few specified months, not always, not like daily thing. It is whenever that new crop is there. Then Atithi Varjitancha, a person who is not feeding the guests properly. In all the yajnas, one invariable thing is you have to feed the guests properly. All these Atithis. Then Ahutam Avaishwadevam. Ahutam means whatever havanam you are doing, you have not put the specified thing or in a specified manner. That is what is Ahutam. Avaishwadevam. Vaishwadevam is another type of yajna. Vishvedevaha, for different types of deities which we visualize in the say cosmos. So for all those things. Then Avidhina Hutam. Not done in the prescribed manner, not offered in the prescribed manner. Avidhina Hutam. Hutam is that which is offered in the fire. Avidhina, not in the prescribed manner. All these things, Asaptaman Lokan Hinasti. Tasya, of that particular person. Asaptaman Tasya. Asaptamans Tasya. Sandhi, when you combine it, it becomes Asaptamans Tasya. So Tasya, of that person. Of that person means whoever is performing that yajna. Asaptaman Lokan. Say up to 7 say lokas. All the 7 lokas. Hinasti. Hinasti means destroys. Destroys means it is of no use. It will not achieve. When it is not going to achieve, it is as good as destruction. So that is what we are going to see. It is as good as waste. It is as good as a wasteful exercise. So that is it. Asaptaman Lokan Hinasti. For this word Asaptaman, of course, Shankaracharya has given 2 meanings. That is, Asaptaman can be taken as all the 7. Sapta is 7. Yeah. Asaptaman means all the 7. Then all the 7 generations. Another meaning is all the 7 generations. What are the 7 generations? 3 above and 3 below, and our generation. Say your father, your grandfather, and your great grandfather, your son, your grandson, and your great grandson. So there are 7 generations. All the 7 generations will be affected. So that is it. Asaptaman Lokan Hinasti. It is going to cause some negative consequence. There will be a negative consequence. So that is what it is. So which means yajna has to be performed in such a perfect way. So this mantra tells about the negative consequences of not performing in a meticulous way, in a very, very prescribed manner. Let us see the bhashyam. So katham yasya agnihotrinah agnihotram Adarsham Darshakhyena Karmana Varjitam. Darshakhyena Karmana Varjitam. Agnihotrino Avashya Kartavyatvad Darshasya. Darshasya. So first he is explaining the word Adarsham. Yasya means Agnihotrinaha. Agnihotrinaha means for the Agnihotri. Agnihotri is the word. Agnihotrin. Agnihotrinaha is Shashti Ekvachanam. Of that Agnihotri, Agnihotram Adarsham. So Adarsham, what is the meaning of Adarsham? Darshakhyena Karmana Varjitam. So this particular karma named Darsha has not been performed. Karmana Varjitam. It is devoid of. Varjitam. Varjitam means it is devoid of. That means he has forgotten it or he has ignored it. So that is it. Darshakhyena Karmana Varjitam. Then Agnihotrinaha Avashya Kartavyatvad Darshasya. Because this Darsha Yajna is something which has to be performed, which has to be necessarily performed by the Agnihotri. But he has forgotten or he has ignored it or he has not done it. Then Agnihotra Sambandhi. Agnihotri Sambandhi. Agnihotra Visheshanamiva Bhavati. So here we are seeing 2 words, Agnihotri and Agnihotram. Agnihotram means that fire ritual. Agnihotram is that fire ritual. Agnihotri is somebody who performs that fire ritual. So here the adjective which is supposed to be used for this Agnihotri is being used for Agnihotram. The adjective which is supposed to be used for Agnihotri is being used for Agnihotram. That is a way of usage. You see, that is in English we call it a transferred epithet. Epithet is an adjective, a transferred adjective. For example, walking a weary way. Walking a weary way means walking a tired way. The way is not tired, but the person is tired. So like that. That is what it is here. Agnihotri sambandhi Agnihotra Visheshanam iva bhavati. So this Agnihotri sambandhi, this Agnihotra Visheshanam iva. This actually it has to refer to Agnihotri, but it is referring to Agnihotram. Yasya Agnihotram adarsham ani. You are referring to Agnihotram instead of referring to Agnihotri, because it is the duty of the Agnihotri, isn't it?
Yeah.
So instead of referring to this, it is referring to Agnihotra. So that is what it is. So the way of usage. In usage, you see, sometimes the adjectives they shift. Agnihotri sambandhi Agnihotra Visheshanameva bhavati. Tad akriyamanam ityetat. So the overall meaning is tad akriyamanam. It is not being done. So that is the meaning. Akriyamanam. Tatha apaurnamasam ityadishu api Agnihotra Visheshanatvam drashtavyam. So likewise, in all other usages also, apaurnamasam, achaturmasyam, in all these things, instead of using the adjective to the Agnihotri, the text is using the adjective to Agnihotram. Instead of using it to the person, it is using it to the action, ritual. So that is it. Tatha apaurnamasam ityadishvapi. In all the other expressions like apaurnamasam, anagrayanam, etc., etc., Agnihotra Visheshanatvam drashtavyam. So this Visheshanam is used for Agnihotra instead of using it for Agnihotri. That's it. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Then Agnihotrangatvasya avishishtatvat apaurnamasam paurnamasa karma varjitam. So this is Agnihotrangatvasya avishishtatvat, because avishishtatvat means it has not been specifically mentioned. Agnihotra angatvasya. You see, all these things, this darsha, paurnamasa, chaturmasya, etc., they are not specifically mentioned as the parts, as part and parcel of that Agnihotram. So that is why Agnihotra angatvasya avishishtatvat. It has not been specifically mentioned, but they have to be done. Then apaurnamasam means paurnamasa karma varjitam. That paurnamasa has not been performed by him. Then similarly, achaturmasyam chaturmasa karma varjitam. So here my book says chaturmasya. Chaturmasya is correct, because it is a tadhita pratyaya. Chaturmasa is 4 months. Chaturmasyam is something relating to 4 months. So my text is wrong. Chaturmasya karma varjitam. Then that means achaturmasya means this chaturmasya karma is ignored or neglected. Then anagrayanam. Agrayanam sharadadi kartavyam tacha nakriyate yasya. Okay, yasya tat. Your text is more correct. Sharadadi kartavyam it says. Sharadadishu kartavyam is more clear rather. So agrayanam is something sharadadi kartavyam. That is in specific months like Sharat Kala is the same November, December, that is the Sharat Kala. Sharat Kala or something like November, December, etc. November, not December, October, November. So that time. At that time, some fresh crop comes, new crop comes. So there, with that new crop, we are going to cook food and then put it to the fire. Tacha nakriyate yasya, where that person does not do those things. Then tatha atithi varjitancha. Atithi pujanancha. Ahanyahani kriyamanam yasya. Ahanyahani akriyamanam yasya. Okay, atithi varjitam means every day. Ahanyahani means day by day. Ahas is day. Ahanyahani means every day. ahanyahani akriyamanam yasya. This gentleman is not doing that say atiti puja every day. So that is another thing. Atiti pujanancha it is varjitam. Then swayam samyag agnihotra kale hutam.
Swayam samyak agnihotra kale ahutam.
Kale ahutam. So ahutam avaishvadevam. So for the word ahutam he is explaining, swayam, though everything else is okay, samyak agnihotradi kale ahutam. At the proper time it has not been done. It has been done maybe with a great delay, or it has been done say much in advance without reciting some mantras, something like that. Samyak agnihotra kale, at the proper time it is not hutam, ahutam. Then adarshadivad avaishvadevam vaishvadeva karmavarjitam. Similarly, avaishvadevam means vaishvadeva karmavarjitam. That vaishvadeva is a particular type of yajna. He has not done that particular yajna. Then atithi, then huyamanamapi avidhina hutam na yatha hutam ityetat. That is avidhina hutam. Avidhina hutam means there is a prescribed way in which you have to offer the oblations. So he has not done it in a prescribed way. So that is it. Avidhina hutam. Then evam dussampaditam asampaditam agnihotrad upalakshitam karma kim karoti ityuchyate. So dussampaditam means which is wrongly done. Sampaditam means not something which is acquired. Dussampaditam. But at the end of the yajna, I say karyam sampannam susampannam. He says sampannam means it is achieved well, it has been accomplished well. Dussampadhyam means not properly accomplished. Dussampadhyam, it is badly accomplished rather. Dussampadhyam is badly accomplished. Asampaditam means not accomplished. Dussampaditam, asampaditam. Dussampaditam is badly accomplished. Asampaditam means not accomplished, unaccomplished. So this Agnihotradi Upalakshitam karma, this particular karma which is characterized or which is known as Agnihotra etc., it is having so many technical problems. Karma, kim karoti ityushyate, what will it do? That is being told. Saptama sahitans tasya kartuhu lokan hinastiva ayasamatra phalatvat. So Shankaracharya is giving some grace marks. Instead of saying hinasti means totally destroys. So he says he doesn't want to use that strong thing. Hinasti iva means, you see, something can be destroyed only when you have achieved a thing, isn't it? It is only when you have something it can be destroyed. If you don't have it, where is there to destroy? So that is why asaptaman lokan hinasti means it does not mean that it will destroy all the 7 lokas. That means it is of no use, it is not going to achieve. So not achieving them is as good as destroying. Suppose you are appearing for some examination and you have spent some 2 years or some 3 years to appear for that exam. You have not achieved it. So it is as good as destroyed. So it is like that. Asaptaman lokan hinasti. What is it? Asaptaman means the upasarga means samanta, totally. Asaptaman means totally. Saptama sahitan tasya kartuhu lokan. Of that karta, all the 7 lokas, that is bhuhu, bhuvaha, suvaha, etc., all the lokas are there. All those lokan, hinasti, destroys. Means hinasti iva, as though it destroys. Why? Ayasamatra phalatvat. See, for doing all this exercise, there is only strain. You have spent some half a dozen say days. You might have spent some 10 days, 15 days, we do not know. And all those 10-15 days you have secured so much of material. You have put so many things into the fire, but you have not done the prescribed things in the prescribed way. So all that thing is of no use. So yajna is fraught with so many problems, so many difficulties. So we will continue in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.